There you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go live.
Mm.
Go live. Go live.
Mm.
We are going live.
Go live. Go live.
Yes. I got some super chats already, which I got to read the first one because it's not showing up in the viewer
Oh,
activity.
oh,
BJ Turan,
oh,
$2.
thank you.
Great Star Trek episode. Really enjoyed it.
Mm.
Yes. Absolutely.
I think that's very fair.
Absolutely. Let's see. Ozzy throws in $5. It says, I'm Federation President Skeleton Hands from Hawaii. Klingon captain looks like Gowron's twin brother. Okie dokie.
So now Ozzy's from Hawaii. That might be his get from the season.
No, well, he's messaging me like privately with red alarm, red alarm. Oh, there's Ozzy's $2 red alarm alert. Red alarm.
Not quite as good though.
I like the red alarm.
Yeah.
Red alarm.
Yeah, I'm so glad they bring the same captain actor back every time to be consistent. He does nail the vibe.
He definitely does.
Yeah, what an episode, Stuart. What an episode.
It was great. Olivia Julius, $2. Red alarm. Dun dun dun.
Yes.
Everybody's gonna be doing that.
Oh dear. Now that hopefully isn't a new drinking thing. Goodness. Well, I will start sharing, get some people in, as we have lots to talk about. I think lots and lots.
We do. We do.
Back in a minute.
Okay. All right, guys. As you saw, super chats are a great way to get our attention, get us to read your comment or question or whatever you want us to say or do. You can do that via super chat. You can also send a PayPal to trekyards@hotmail.com. Lots of great ways to support our channel. You can hit the join button, get a rank, it's a monthly way to help us out, like a subscription service. So you can do that as well if you want to, or head on over to Patreon/Trekyards. That's another way to do it. So lots of great ways to support the channel. You can even check the links down below. There's links to TeePublic and Teespring Store. TeePublic Store has some really great stuff, and there are some sales coming up as well, which I'll notify you about when it is time for those. So, yeah. What else can you do? Oh, hit that like button. 37 of you here, 42 likes. That is awesome. But hit that like button if you haven't yet. Let's get the likes as high as we can. Always a good thing. So, good question, Pumpkin Spice. I don't know. It's just to be cool and edgy, I think. I think that's how that works. Anyway, I will read Eugene's super chat as soon as Samuel gets back from sharing. But yes, Eugene has sent us a red alarm super chat. So thank you so much. And yeah, I mean, this is going to be a fun episode to talk about. It was definitely a good episode. If you haven't checked out our edited review that we did earlier today, by all means, check that out as well if you're interested. But yeah, I think overall people are pretty happy with this one. Saying it's the best of the season, maybe the best of just Lower Decks in general. And I kind of agree, but we'll talk about that in a second. As soon as Sammy gets back, which is right now, because there he's putting his earbuds back in.
Right now.
Eugene, 2,000 rubles.
Oh, see, you can tell if he's excited. He's straight in the punch. Right, what does Mr. Eugene say?
Not knowing the name of the episode, 3 ships, only makes it better. I so love Vulcan ship scenes, a lot of Enterprise vibes, breaking the ice, fallen hero, and impulse. Yeah, I thought the same thing with the way the Vulcans were. But yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that's what the name translates to, is 3 ships. So for anybody that didn't know.
Didn't know.
Yeah.
That would have been a giveaway if anyone spoke Klingon.
Yeah. Cool. Sergeant Montgomery said, I got to wear my red Trekyards hoodie. It is very soft and comfy, well worth the money.
Yeah, I have one right here. I'm excited to wear when it gets colder.
Yeah, I got one that's exactly like that. Mine has the pinup lady in it. I wore it in Alberta. It was really nice. So.
And there may or may not be some stuff coming from us that we can put on a hoodie. And in theory, we could design it, put on a hoodie, buy it for ourselves, and have it to us before Christmas. Should be pretty surreal.
Yeah.
Bit late for the show, but hey ho. That's all good.
Don't call me a hoe.
Well, cool. I can see it.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just get into what I think of the episode. I guess I don't know.
But yes, guys, super chat your thoughts. They were at the penultimate. Last time, obviously last season, this episode would have been the movie one, which blew us all away with its really great ideas. Sounds familiar. And then the season finale was a huge step up. So really intrigued to see where the next episode goes. If it links canon-wise to this, if they're gonna do something different. You know, where do you think it's gonna go? And we'd love to hear that as we go. So yeah, super chat your thoughts. But yes, Stuart. So what do you think of season 2, episode 9 of Holodeck, the Star Trek?
I think
spin-off
Olivia
show?
put in $5.
Well,
Said, Commander,
that's not
you're
what
from
I
the
asked,
UK. I am too. Nothing like walking up to Big Ben during tea time.
I mean, you could do that. It's very practical. Lots of people live right there.
Big Ben is actually just the clock inside. It's not the tower. So, for anybody that doesn't know.
I think Stuart wants to sound smart and make things go. That's what he's. Because he is smart and he does make things go. Yeah.
I guess. And we also got one from Captain Chili Bean at $2. I giggled when Klingon Captain quoted Shakespeare. Yes.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yes, Stuart, what do you think of season 1, 2, episode 9, Holodeck? Wej Duj.
I thought it was fantastic. Probably the most Star Trek. This one could have been a TNG episode, honestly, with the way it was written and
I think
done.
you said 3 times now this season.
I haven't said it this season. No, I didn't.
Yeah, we said it last week as well. Specifically said it last week. And I think said it
did not.
Yeah, you did, because I noticed it as being okay. You went that far, did he? Yes.
Not for next. No, last week I wouldn't have said that. It was too referential for TNG.
I edited you, Stuart, so I had to listen to you more than you did.
No, wouldn't have
Just
said
saying.
it. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. This one definitely could just literally copy and paste the script. You don't have to change much. There wasn't too much humor. It wasn't too inundated with goofiness like last week was. Last week was fantastic as well, in a different way, in a referential Lower Decks kind of way. But this one was more of a, this is classic Star Trek right now. This could be an excellent Orville episode as well. It just has that amount of humor, that it's not too much, too over the top, or too Lower Decksy. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the vibe that I get from this one.
Even though they had lots of little nuanced extra jokes, one that stands out instantly is that the Klingon chap's pulling the dead Klingon away, and they linger because he's too heavy, because he's not that strong.
Yeah.
So they linger longer.
Longer.
Wouter says, can we get a poll? Like clear at lower deck, decker among the ship? Yes, we can do a poll. I guess it'd be boring then, but we'll see who favourite lower deck character is. Could be fun. Sorry, continue, Stuart, of the episode.
Lower deckers among the ship, so the Klingon guy, T'Lyn.
Well, we'll start with the main crew, get a sense for them, and then we'll do a second poll in a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think that first poll is necessary for this episode, but that's okay. George Mangrum, $2. Avoid death and cower. Yes, the exact opposite of live long and prosper. Well, actually, the exact opposite is die immediately and decay, but you know how it is. Anyway, yes, love this episode. Probably the best of season 2. Could be the best of Lower Decks. Total. All over. Just saying. Who knows? I'll have to see what the scores are at the end here. Really, really enjoyed this one, though. It was nice kind of getting away from the Cerritos and seeing some other stuff. And new ships, epic ship battles, amazingly epic music. So many great things in this episode that just made me smile and made me feel good. And just the ships punching the hell out of each other. Makes you wonder how tough the Cerritos is. It seems fairly like a pretty tough ship. So,
well, I can imagine it's given top of the line shields, but substandard weapons, which would kind of equal out. If that would make sense.
And Eugene puts in 500 rubles and says it's basically Lower Decks episode of Lower Decks.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
It should be called Lower Deckception. No, exactly. Do you want me to give my
Yeah, I was just thinking if there's anything else I have to say. I mean, there probably is at some point, but
Well, yeah, we'll certainly go through it. And of course, do go watch our edited review, as that is nice and condensed. But obviously, here you are, live to ask questions, etc. Now, what I think is great about this one is that it's definitely the smartest episode they've made so far. And even though, yeah, obviously it was referential in that we had Vulcans and Klingons, they all stood on their own merit. It wasn't like seeing Chang from DS9, and he's the Klingon, or, you know, Saval from Enterprise. It was all new, but in the universe, which is how I like to think of this stuff. You don't need to be direct referential, still be using the universe and feel additional and living. And so, wow, what a bold way of doing the episode. Very logical, and it keeps sort of going one step further as well. You think, okay, just Klingons is enough, or you don't think you're necessarily going to go back to the Klingons, because does it really matter? You haven't introduced them. Do we care about them? I don't know. But we follow them. We have a decent amount of time with each set. You certainly care. You certainly like all the lower deck people, especially the Borg at the end, and you really feel for those guys. But the smartest, it's shocking how our heroes got almost no screen time each, but every scene each of them were in added something. So it kind of felt like it was like almost like a clip show as well. They kept cutting from location to location to location, but each one was a very carefully constructed piece. There was no like redundant bits. So even though in essence our main character was having a day off, they still added something. So that was good. Mm-hmm. And obviously it also factored into the main plot, because if they'd had all the different stories be all different stories, which is how I thought it was going to go, would be fine. But the fact they all actually tied together makes the whole thing have all this extra weight that would have had otherwise. And implications of later, because they did deal with this Packard threat. We did get the reveal. I mean, there you go. You know, cast your vote. Is the Burn or some random Klingon guy, which is a more anticlimactic reveal, and I'll also talk about that at the end. And then leads to what they do for the next episode. They could literally do anything, or take it easy, or go extreme. And yeah, I'm with bated breath waiting for next week. And of course, guys, vote.
Yes. Jeff Sturm, though, puts in $5.
Thank you.
Would it be okay if I made a Trekyards fan page on my site to support your channel and Trekyards overall? You two have been very inspirational to me. On one condition, you don't spell Trekyards as 2 words. And don't capitalize the Y. It's Trekyards, 1 word, 1 capital.
Most
or
words
all capitals.
Yeah, most words don't have a capital in the middle, and Trekyards is always 1 word. But yes, just let us know. So we can have a look.
And Sergeant Montgomery, $2. The female Vulcan reminds me of Valeris. Thumbs up for episode. Not really. I didn't think so. I could see her being part Romulan with her emotional outbursts. Like, jeez.
I think that's gonna be. I think that's a cop out. I kind of like her just being a pure Vulcan who's a bit rebellious. Although since you said to me in our editor review that they are just parallels for Boimler and Mariner, Klingon being Boimler, having Mariner, I can't unsee that. They're extremely close parallels. Just in the dramatically different context of the, you know, I mean the joke about the Klingon guy being, you know, I mean yes, my first officer, even though you're weaker and smaller and stupider and smaller and
smaller. Yeah.
Like that's a very, very Boimler joke. If it was obviously in the grander context. So yeah, that was and a real cornucopia of images of characters I could have picked for this thumbnail. There's so many good ones.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and keep voting, guys. I want to see if we get 100 votes and see, because it's not going the way I thought it was going to go, which is kind of great.
Yeah.
Voting's really interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, shall I just get into it, I guess?
Captain's log, once again.
Well, they're on a 12-hour warp, which is important to know, because you've got like you said, you got a fan film called Hours at Warp, because we've talked about that multiple times. Like, there's engage, and then you cut to the credits, but everybody on this bridge is like,
so yeah. Poker, pool, anything. No, it's nice they sort of, although odd about that is that the way they play it, it's a rarity. So if you're always under 12 hours at warp, that means they're never going very far. You can get a long way in that time, but not that far. Yes, maybe they could do it in like jumps potentially, but if that is a exception to the rule, I mean, we don't necessarily think they're going like deep into the beta quadrant, but they're presumably like really just surfing very inner alpha quadrant space, you know?
Yeah, I mean they're going to a planetary survey, which is, this is, I mean they build this ship as like one to tow other ships around, or be the least important, or do second contact. So planetary surveys and stuff, a little bit out of the. I think they stick more to the inner part of the Federation. So this 12-hour warp might be something exceptional for them. So yeah.
It's just because it's not very far. I mean, I don't think they're going warp 9.975. So they're not really going.
Well, they also make the point of saying that with little to do in this vacant such stretch of space, so. They're not expecting to run into anybody or have an emergency call, so they're going to literally be at warp for 12 hours because nothing around. So,
yeah, well, it's the difference between, I guess, driving on a highway on a Sunday evening with no one around versus driving at sort of 5 p.m. on a Wednesday when you've got the radio going, you've got cars around you, you've got bicyclists. It's like there's stuff you can look at and see and do versus just dead road.
Yeah. Olivia Julius, though, $5.
Presidente!
The holodeck safeties are on, right? I mean, Fleet Pod did fall 500 feet. Oh, well, I'll figure it out later. Yeah.
Luckily, our medical techs are very good at what they do. So even if they did, prob's fine.
Well, if the CMO is just like, I'll deal with it later. I mean, maybe he wasn't going to die. I don't.
But I mean, the guy's already died. Like we have already sort of worked out that, we'll heal him. It's all good. But yeah, although I also noted that they, so that random black lady's got a banana. That ginger guy's got 3 strips of bacon. Mariner's got her paella thing. Tendy's got a bowl. He's got a burrito with muffin. They all have their assertive meals, but this isn't the fancy shit of the replicators. They're still eating the. So I was waiting to see like elaborate stuff.
Yeah.
But they're still eating the less impressive. And yes, someone actually asked Mike on Twitter, like, man, so what's Boimler eating? I think he said like a wheat-based food with maple syrup. I'm like, okie dokie. Because someone had to ask that.
Well, it's very bland-looking food for sure. It looks like plain rice or something.
Yeah.
So, kind of speaks to his personality, I guess.
Oh, he's a white rice guy. But I really like seeing the 4 of them together. It's actually kind of rare in this sort of chill. I like this setup with this. I wish there's also an entire episode of just them interacting. Because they actually have good chemistry as a 4. We just don't see them as a 4 very often. Or they're always like fixing something. So I like the interpersonal nature here.
But everybody's busy. Mariner's going to be hanging out with her mom.
She's been ordered to hang out.
Yeah. Rutherford's going to be doing pottery and stuff with Shrax. And Tendy is going to be hanging out with Dr. Tiana just to find out whether she actually likes her or she just gives everybody that face. Which is kind of funny. So. And
Boimler's left out of the loop. It's kind of sad he hasn't got other friends around. But once they all kind of point out they're hanging with, what do they call it, senior officer buddies, or they say something like that, which is a good phraseology.
Commander Hangout Day is what Boimler says, yeah.
So obviously he wants to get part of that because this is a chance to brown nose, but also get to know the higher ups, because they obviously do more important things on a daily basis. And if they're free too, you can learn from them. I was kind of surprised he didn't go straight to Ransom, given that he is logical path. I know he might not be the most whatever guy, but like he's a logical extension.
I wish you would have said something about the Titan. Like I used to hang out with Riker on Thursday nights or something. Would have been nice to get some kind of reference to what was going on the Titan.
Why has the Titan not appeared at any point this season except the second episode?
It'll be back to the next episode, I guarantee you.
I know, but
I almost expected it to fly in to this episode and like save the day.
Oh no, another Voyager. No, an Enterprise. Sorry, another Enterprise.
Yeah. Wouter215 puts in €10.
Oh, thank
you so much. I can imagine a season 3 with each episode of Lower Decks crew on a Federation member ship, like Vulcan, Andorian, Ferengi, etc., and a 25-minute April Fool's episode of Borg standing in their alcove.
Well, that'd be the bonus episode.
Yeah, that'd be great, actually.
And halfway through, as Krieg would come in and just inspect them and say, "Perfection." Thanks, Alice. Thanks, Alice. Alice, that was great. Alice, there you go. Your check's in the mail. Thanks for coming in for that. So I drove in 30 minutes through LA traffic to say that. Yep. Thanks, Alice.
That being said, the last few minutes with the Borg, the sound is amazing. It's just so relaxing. Just want to put that on loop and like fall asleep to that.
Oh god. Well, that's how they get you, Stuart. First they make you think it's relaxing, and then they just assimilate you because you're already halfway there at that point.
Guess that's true. Sapphire says, I presume that the Vulcan is coming to the Cerritos. Don't know. Could be.
Could be many things, but definitely won't.
Maybe she gets posted the Titan, gets in a relationship with that Boimler, and then has to do a mission on the Cerritos.
Well, that's even fun.
And is like, yeah, like something like that would be interesting. But
because I kind of assume Titan, because let's be honest, if you go from a Vulcan big science ship to a Cali, that's a demotion.
Punishment after all.
Yeah, but humans are bad enough with their smell. Like, the Titans, at least, are relatively equal science to science. So I can imagine that would be the... Plus, she's clearly talented. She managed to suddenly turn shields into god shields. Pretty talented lady. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so Boimler says, yeah, I've got... What does he say? I've got my own... Got his own plan. Oh, no, yeah. He's wondering about, the lower decks of other crews. I'm sure, Klingons have much more fun.
Yeah, they've been warping around the quadrant for... centuries or whatever.
So lower decks must be much greater.
Yeah.
And you don't think it's gonna happen, and then boom. Oh.
Yeah. Log to the base 2. Great name. Wow. Throws in £5 with no comment, but thank you so much.
What an unusual picture as well. Thank you. And you're all welcome to say something as well. We love to have the interaction. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And California class doesn't seem like it needs much of a science department. Yeah, no. It does not. And only 9 more votes, guys, for the 100. I always want to get 100 people on the poll. Vote who is your favourite lower decks officer, and then we'll ask what's your favourite new lower decks officer. So yeah, 9 more votes. Let's get that rolling. But yeah, now how did you feel, Stuart, when they go full Klingon for a second? Like, what was going through your brain of where it might go?
Full Klingon. Well, I don't know. I love that you get this nice shot of the ship, and all of a sudden, Klingon bird of prey, cheetah. It's like
no,
cheetah.
Say it properly.
Cheetah.
Thank you.
I didn't expect that,
yeah.
and the big like print on the screen. I'm like, I want to see the ship. I want to see the ship. Yeah. But we do get lots of other views of the ship, so that's fine. I didn't really expect it. I mean, we've seen other ships before, occasionally in like TNG and stuff, but nothing like this. Like, this was really interesting. And then to double down and do the Vulcan one as well, and then the Packard one, and then the Borg one, quadruple down actually.
Yep.
So, no, I was surprised. And then to see the lower decks, I'm like, this is interesting. Where's this going now? Are we going to get introduced to new? Because I mean, there's 4 of them. They're standing there. They're doing. It's just great. I was excited. It lower decks. They didn't need to tell us that. I think we knew.
Oh, no, it felt so brave as a concept. Because it could easily fall down if they didn't write it right. My brain went straight to, and I was wrong in both instances, but my brain went straight to, okay, because they're bored, this entire episode is going to be a Klingon ship. Whole episode until the end, and they'll meet up at the end, and that'll be the whole thing, and that'll be the really fun twist. But all the 4 people of our main crew, main voice actors, are going to voice their Klingon respective counterparts and play different versions. So it's still them earning their paycheck, but as the Klingons. I thought that'd be really fun. And maybe Tendi and Rutherford's voice actors would get more to do because that would be, good for them. I thought that was such a clever idea, like seeing the lower decks of lower decks in the guise of the lower decks actors. I thought that'd be great. Not their voiceovers, but that would have been fun. And then I thought, always going to be a one-scene joke, just with a lot of attention to detail. And I'm happy I was wrong at the level we got it. But it's definitely a a hell of a curveball, and they don't. Well, I think they show a lot of restraint in it. You know, the Klingon ship has to be functional, has to work, has to be a useful fighting force. They can't go too far the lower decks vibe. But I think they have a really good balance here. And obviously, you know, it doesn't matter which lower decks, there's always a guy in a towel. Always.
Yeah, I pointed that too. It's like they have the same corridor set up, and the towel guy. Need towel guy.
Oh, I can imagine Klingons love their communal showers. Blood, wine, soap. You know, same rack.
I guess. Let's see. We got Captain Chili Bean that throws in $5.
Thank you.
Klingon filing his teeth in the mirror, and one other having to clean the worms container for their blood feeding. Klingons wet work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just hearing about the bloodworm thing was interesting because I was wondering, like, what do Lord X on the Klingons do? Great honor for me today. I'm filling in at the helm, and you know, I'm going to be training. If I should be killed, you know. Yeah, it's just great. And then they go on to say something about a logical choice. Station at the captain's side will be a logical choice for a new officer. Logical. And I'm thinking, oh, there's going to be some kind of Vulcan. Yep, there's a Vulcan insult. But I didn't expect it to immediately like go to a Vulcan ship at any point during this episode. By this point, I thought that'd be too much, you know. So.
Yeah, I really liked the. I mean, the die honorably is always is a gimmick within a gimmick, and it's the fact that yes, I'll do like you said, do the training. I shall die honorably in battle. Which case you can have my thing. Like it's so it's just a saying, isn't it? It's a way of life. It's just a saying. So I like the normalizing of it. It felt very organic, and then the logical. It wasn't too far, but it was using what we know about the Klingons effectively, because we really haven't seen ensign Klingons before. So it was doubly changing the vibe. And it's also a smaller ship. Like there isn't hundreds of people on this vessel. It's at least Burrell to mid-range. It isn't some great big ship. There's not going to be more than 100 people, and that's really pushing it, I think. Arguably, we see the entire crew in this episode. Arguably.
Yeah, because if it's a Burrell, dozen officers and men, so yeah.
That was a really good introduction.
Olivia Julius throws in $5, so I guess we get to riot if the next episode doesn't have cetacean ops. I mean, I think that's one of those ongoing jokes for Lord X. They're going to keep teasing cetacean ops, and we're never going to see it. We know that Ensign Barnes works in citation ops, usually, so I really want to see it, and they've mentioned it each season now, so I don't think you're going to be able to riot if we don't see it, because I don't think we're going to see it. Eugene, 250 rubles. Thank you so much, Eugene. The episode should be named wej Duj, i.e. 5 ships. Why 5 ships? There was the Hackledge.
Yeah.
And the Borg ship. And the Borg ship. Yeah.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, then it hard cuts straight when you're already like off kilter by Klingons. Boom! Brand new Vulcan ship. Looks fantastic. We've obviously got VO in it, obviously. And then we cut in, and I really like the lower decks. You know,
the
Cheval doesn't feel like lower decks. It's just a nice room with lots of science and pretty. And Stuart, do you want to play some chess later?
Negative. I'm composing a lute sonata. I am available for chess. Yeah.
I love their over-exaggerated pauses.
Yeah.
Like they're screaming pretentious, but if they don't see it, I also
like their tech. I mean, we see this.
Yeah.
Actually, like, there's 2 things that really like. Even do this to zoom out. She does that later, and then they take the pad and they just tap the screen to transfer the program as well later on the bridge. So I mean that's cool, but seeing all the displays, and I really like the Vulcan aesthetic. I think it looks very cool. But yeah, they basically start, giving her shit for not doing her assignment, and she's like, it's a redundant system. I want to do something, improve our scanning abilities. um, and then the one girl, the Vulcan lady that comes up and talks to her, reminded me a lot of Michael Burnham. Got the same kind of hairstyle as Michael Burnham had in season 1, and the whole Vulcan demeanor kind of going on. So, yeah, they even looked like Michael Burnham actually.
That's how she would have been if she was pure Vulcan.
Yeah, but this region of space has never produced this type of anomalous energy. Does that not seem strange? And I'm thinking, well, the definition of anomalies by definition are strange. But yeah.
They're anomalous things. There's a really fine line between being annoying for annoying's sake and being a Vulcan. And it's so on that line, but it kind of needs to be. Especially if, they don't like her as an abstract. They know she's someone who they don't really get on with. And so they're not treating her with the extra 1.1% of kindness that a Vulcan can show. And so it's very clinical as it would be. And the only thing I note in this scene, although yes, I absolutely love the tech, like you said, it's very weird, but cool, great, is that I thought, for the most part, the dialogue felt stilted. Not in a way that you'd associate Saval with using. It felt more like they were reading a script like this, and they were trying to make it sound like polarons and quantum vibrate. You know what I mean? There's a disconnect between the techno stuff when, if anything, to be more confident with that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought that their dialogue was great. Like you said, the pauses that they were implementing before saying things was great, especially with the "I am available for chess."
There's a hard line, but obviously that you can tell they're judging it instantly, even though they're not emoting. You can already see she's just using a few inflections. She says feel, she says think, she says gut reaction. She's putting all the telltale signs of thinking for herself and having emotion. And for a lower decks officer, not so good.
Well,
for them, I mean.
How do you? How do you get promoted? You got to stand out. You got to do your own thing, right?
No, you stand out by just being smart in your job.
I guess.
Or you don't stand out. You wait for the officers to say you are good at your job. Please have promotion. Thank you.
Yes.
You don't stand out. You just be.
Yeah. I must inform the captain. She has lost all control.
I mean, it's very English humor, very dry.
Yeah.
Very good.
Vino Verin Victus puts in $2. It sounded more like Vulcan Mariner, to be honest. She's very much like Mariner as far as.
Yeah, you're referring to the other woman that felt more like Burnham. Yes, for sure. As in you were, but I think they misunderstood. Yes, no, definitely some Mariner, which is great.
Yes.
Before she was very full on. And then the young blood man comes in, all eager to talk to. Oh my god! What the hell? And as soon as we get into the bridge, we have a knife to the death fight, and it's kind of gruesome.
It's kind of neat too, though, because they mentioned earlier that the second officer, has been quite disrespectful lately and needs to maybe die. But then when you find out what's going on with the captain, chances are this guy was catching on and was thinking about taking over himself. So, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely benefits from a second watch because you're just like, oh, damn.
Yeah. Olivia Julius, $5. I am done walking your pup. It was an honorable pass. Yes.
Glory to you and your pass.
Yeah.
Oh, that actually works. Right, so I'll end the vote. I'll end the poll at 119 votes. I kind of lost track, so we ended up getting way more. So, who is the favourite Lodett's character? Mariner, 29%, Boimler, 37%, Tendi, 28%, and Rutherford, 6%. So, what do you think about that?
I'm kind of surprised. Tendi was leading the way for a while. I'm glad Boimler was the favorite, though.
He's the underdog, isn't he?
Yeah. And Rutherford, I mean, I'm not surprised. He really doesn't get anything, unfortunately, which is sad, even though he's already died and come back. I mean,
well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I've never really considered who I like most, and that's quite an interesting poll.
Mm-hmm. Well, we should do another
We
poll
will
of
in a
some
moment. But yeah, and you get, you know, beautiful purple Klingon Star Trek 6 blood, which therefore ignores all of the beautiful red DS9 blood.
Well, they do mention a reference of the pinkish reddish blood.
Well, I was trying to look, because you mentioned earlier that you saw red blood, but I couldn't see where red blood was in the episode.
Maybe we'll find it. I think I remember seeing it, but I could be wrong.
But it was really quite satisfying because it's such a powerful colour, and it instantly gives you Star Trek 6 flashbacks, how vicious that was.
The Pepto-Bismol blood.
Yeah. He wants a new officer to step up and do what's right. Although I'm wondering, now that we've got here, no one else even makes a noise. And I was kind of expecting the guy to have to like fight for a second. Do you think the rest of the crew also knows and also don't agree, but they don't want second in command because that means they'd have to challenge him?
Probably, and because he's lower decks, nobody tells him anything, so he doesn't know what everybody else knows.
Because there feels like a disconnect of that would be the honourable. Like there should be already a designated second in command guy, but also there should be an obvious guy. I mean, just they're all the guys with white hair. It's like, well, you guys have the experience. So I'm wondering if that is a subtext. That like everyone's like, yep, this fucker's captain. Whereas young guys are like, hello, yes.
Yeah, and then dragging the body away was funny.
And just no one else moves.
Yeah.
I kind of want another awkward like, little help. We get that later, but that was funny. See, those little small laughs that are just, yeah. And at this point, I'm thinking, are we even going to go back to the Cerritos? I don't even mind if we don't, but no, we do. For Kayshawn's second best scene.
Yep.
Talk us through while I do the next poll.
Kamart, her head cloudy. Thank you, Ensign. Let's find out one took some Temerian at the academy. And so Kayshawn's like, Unzak and Vahila as children. Karno in the forest with Mira. It's hard to lose weight when you have a replicator that can make all the food you want. That's not what I meant. I thought that was hilarious because a little bit of a misunderstanding there. Now, the funny thing is, if you actually, when Kayshawn walks away, there's a guy at the bar that has the game on from, well, you see behind Boimler as well.
No, that definitely, I saw that in my third go-through. I'm like, what? I have a note in the show log.
Maybe it's an actual working game, though, and not one that's designed to program your brain or get you addicted.
It's like, you wouldn't think it'd be hard to undo that. But I guess someone's having disc-gasms over there.
And what is in the cup? It looks like peas or something. It doesn't look like a liquid that I'd want to be drinking.
I thought it was like smushed olives.
Anyway, poor Kayshawn. That's all we see of him. But he got insulted because, he thought Boimler was calling him fat. It's hard being a Temerian. And then we're on to pottery class. Samuel's still working on the poll, guys.
But as always, I'm going to need you to read this in a moment. Alright, so if you want to read the poll options, and people, please do vote. We've got 130 people here, 90 likes.
Ooh.
Vote in the poll.
Who was your favorite? Deanna, who was your favorite new? God, the poll closed on me. There we go. New Lower Decks officer, Klingon male officer, female Vulcan officer, T'Lyn, he should have put her name, Pakled, hungry officer, or Borg drone, and then holy shit, not reading the number.
Aw. I thought that was funny.
Somebody has to.
Aw. You can't even see the percentage because there's so many numbers. I mean, come on, It's a lot of Borg drones there.
Percentage is 21% for the Borg.
Okay.
Now 20.
Okay. It's just, I thought that was That's funny. There's only 2 officers. But yeah,
And-
I mean, I like the Keishon scene. I kind of wish they'd explore the Keishon scene. That would have been great, even if he was just from Hawaii as well.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you're giving me a scene. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wouter215. I was wondering if Trekyards would pick up on that little detail. What little detail? The game?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course we do. Hi. Nice to meet you. I'm Stuart. Also known as Captain Foley. We analyze this shit.
We do. I love how Rutherford isn't at all possessive of his officer, his friend, because they've got the bear pup connection thing. So I was waiting for him to say, "No, Brad, it's my one," or some such. But he's like, "Oh yeah,
Okie dokie.
yeah, it was great. It was really." I liked it, even though it's a tiny moment for him. I liked it. And this even though it was not a nice scene, it just made me laugh and just. I really got it.
It made me laugh too because I'm not a big fan of Bajorans, and every time
Bajor? What do you mean, Bajorans? What?
What did you say? No. You think I had time for anything else than resisting? Fighting fascism is a full-time job. That's gonna be a T-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, until you say it out loud, well, yeah, they didn't get to be kids. Damn it, that's quite dark actually, but it's very. But boy, never mentioning Bajor in front of him, that's a whole thing.
That's hilarious. Put it in the clay. Put it in the clay, Papa Bear. I'm going to fight. I'm going to get revenge. I'm going to make a cute little ashtray for my incense. It's going to look like a puppy. That's a great transition and segue into the next scene too. But yes,
that's great. It's top tier.
That's his therapy. It's his therapy. That's what he does. He puts all the anger and hate into the clay.
No, that's great.
Mark Lawrence throws in $5, loving the oh crap look on his face, on the face of the Klingon lower decker when the rest of the bridge crew called him captain.
Rose to it though. Rose to the challenge. No, very much so.
But ooh, look, a puppy, and then you get like this ragdoll thing and the Targ. I love the Targ. Reminds me of my pug.
Yeah, it was a good. I mean, we've seen the Targ as a dog with a makeup on, a physical puppet thing as well in the same movie, just to get some sort of emotions, and then as a CGI thing, Enterprise, and then here is a. They're always kind of changing, but still sort of consistent as well. And yeah, all for it. I hope we see it again.
But then he comes into the mess hall, and the captain's like, "You need to walk my dog later. He ate the leg of that traitor."
Ow. Gruesome.
Well, I think it was the traitor that died.
Well, yeah, he killed him, stabbed him in the heart.
Yeah. So.
But feeding your own race to your pet is a bit. Puggy, eat the pug, eat the mailman I killed. He brought the wrong letter. Jesus.
But yeah, I mean, and then he mentions a glorious battle. Was it the Battle of Drak?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised someone of your age knows of that battle.
Because that was old by the time DS9 happened. We were a good sort of 10 years past that, so it's getting less and less relevant.
Yeah. Then we got a Klingon with a scar over his eye. Looks a lot like Martok. Sounds like Martok. Pretty sure it was J.J. Hertzler.
Was not J.J. Hertzler.
Was not. Well, it sounded exactly like him.
Didn't sound like him to me. I was listening the second time and it didn't.
Oh, I've 3 times I listened to it sound like him. So.
No, everyone. There's no new. Everyone in the credits is new. A lot of guest stars this week and some familiar faces. It's a really interesting episode to look at. Who's in it?
Yeah, but anyway, he says he demands more blood wine. So the young guy's got to go get it. Lower decks, you know how it is.
Lower decks. Because you can't transport it. But then, beautiful at warp. Very nice. Sleek. Yeah. And then we had a very straightforward captain.
Yes, in a Vulcan ready room, I would guess.
And I got Riker vibes because of his window. So for me, it feels like they potentially even took that set, stripped it out, but kept it similar looking, so that we subtly would get a ready room vibe. I think that's what they did.
Mm.
But yeah,
never thought about that, but
because the window is just too similar. Like it had a sofa on it and everything last time. I'd love he has trinkets and everything. Like he still, has possessions and this is a good scene. But of course, outburst, Stuart. It's she's like a child with her outbursts.
Yeah, with her gut feelings and her instincts. Yes.
Yeah, like a child. Yeah.
And I love how he's like, Bridge, change course. Do not take this as an endorsement of your behavior.
Which is fair.
We'll spend 2 days in meditation.
No, sir, I will not. What?
Ooh. Get a hold of yourself. These outbursts will not be tolerated.
No, it's great.
Yeah,
I really hope they acted together vaguely, because this sort of chemistry, or lack of any chemistry, it's very good. But obviously we know she's literally designing next-gen shield technology. Yeah, he doesn't know. That's real important. And obviously the different versions of the you get Mariner flashbacks to the brig, and this is to go meditate.
Yeah,
very different.
We got go climb a rock and boots. We got Tiana and Tendi climbing El Capitan in Yosemite National Park.
Mm-hmm.
Very much a Star Trek V splattering of a lot of things. But yeah, Boimler's trying to fit in, and his rocket boot malfunctions.
Yeah.
And then the safeties are on, right? I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure.
But luckily he didn't die, because I don't think they're on.
Wow.
But it's good. I mean, quick cutaway scene.
The next one made me laugh so much. Where he goes in the holodeck and they're talking about woman problems like cramping and hot flashes and freaking out poor
Billups.
Billups.
Just can't deal with stuff.
But phaser target practice, and you got poor Boimler. I feel bad for him, like trying to get out. That made me laugh out loud. It was such a great scene. And the dialogue's really good. I didn't hear it all the first time because it was way too quick.
Yeah.
But with all the subtitles, it's quite interesting.
I mean, still a bit confusing though, because this is the Voyager holodeck. Why have they got the Voyager holodeck and the TNG holodeck? Because in the Voyager holodeck is where we saw this phaser
The ship's
range.
been refitted between those two scenes, though.
I guess, but it was such an odd choice to then suddenly introduce the new holodecks that have never been in it. They never use it.
This is maybe the big advanced holodeck, and the older ones are the regular. I don't know.
It was just really random. I like this holodeck a lot, but it's visually so different.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a statement of no, it's different. But yeah, great scene, and obviously both these characters are so intense that this makes a lot of sense. And I'm glad Bonner didn't get caught, because he total accident. Although you really shouldn't go to someone's holodeck program without asking. That's common decency. But no, it's good, and yeah, it's very. The only way they can be is with intensity. No, it's good. Good little scene.
Then there's the Hawaiian turbolift scene, and Boimler thought I'm from Hawaii too, to fit in. Only someone from Hawaii could describe it like that. It's like, really? He didn't really say anything. I thought you were from a vineyard. Coffee or pineapple? Both. It's such a great, just ridiculous scene.
Yeah, and it was really fun because having Benzite say I'm from Hawaii, it does hit you off guard for a second, because you expect, he's from Benzite or one of their moons. But yeah, I mean, they can be from anywhere. They can have migrants come and live anywhere and be born there. It's really quite cool. I mean, it's not true, but that's irrelevant to how sort of, it's a nice little moment of, like, they could have easily been 3 humans. So throwing a curveball Benzite was really, really nice, and I think we all like Benzites for their whatever. Although I don't know if you know, and it got me the second time, but the Vulcan captain, the Benzite, same voice actor, and he sounds very distinct. So it's like, they sound so similar, because the same guy, he can't do too much with his voice. But obviously, this is why he got the more chilling out character and the stuck up character. But I was like, oh, okay. You had lots of, like with like one of the Klingons, they only had like 2 lines. He was Strack's actor, just with a new voice. They obviously reuse their own actors for these 2-line characters. But it kind of stood out more in the second viewing. Like, oh, it's the same distinct voice. That's okay.
Sorry, this is the scene that I was thinking of with the walk my targ. Because he brings the wine, the big guy falls on him. He's like, go get your own wine next time. And then tells him to take his targ for a walk because he ate the traitor's leg. So he needs to get that cleared out.
He's like, I demand you come and help. Please. The Klingons don't ask for help. No, it's
very short scene though. But
yeah, it is. We need this to show the target likes him, because otherwise it'd be very random at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we get a meditation with brick on the wall. Very organic, very... Although, I'll be honest, gave me flashbacks to the Romulan Find Your Truth room that Soji and Darj went on. Similar cultures 2,000 years ago. I just got instant flashbacks to that. I don't know if that was inspiration, but...
George Mangrum puts in $5.
Thank you.
Was the Ritos shirt the first Discovery reference in Lower Decks? Probably not the first, no, but... Well, that raises the question, though. If Discovery gets shortened to Disco, and Cerritos gets shortened to Ritos, what does the Enterprise get shortened to? Enter or Prize?
Either way, it's dumb.
Somebody speculated last night on my live that half the crew wears Enter, the other half wears Prize.
It's just a stupid idea. I mean, yes, I think it is pretty much the first Discovery reference, the full-on one. But I never liked it. It seems gimmicky. Well, it's very gimmicky. That's the whole point.
Yeah. Anyway, she's working instead of meditating. And I love this line. Your rebellions will only lead to punitive spiritualism.
Well, that's the thing. We've never really seen this sort of culture as a primary focus of the scene. As I said in our other review, we had a couple of Vulcans in TOS, mostly Sarek, and he was also an ambassador, so there wasn't that... He was still linked to Starfleet and other things a little bit. In TNG, we've got maybe 2 random Vulcan characters that appeared. The the lady that did the sun experiment for one, etc. Obviously, Voyager, we got none, because they're in the Delta Quadrant. As in none that weren't Starfleet, and Starfleet, and from just this episode alone, we're learning that the rebellious ones go to Starfleet because they can't deal with pure Vulcan culture. So it's actually kind of like, well, why do very few go to Starfleet? Because they are so like out of the mold. And so only in Enterprise we get Vulcan culture raw. So this is our only other time seeing of true Vulcan culture, and it's not really pleasant if you're out of the norm. But how do you insult? How do you whatever? And I think their dialogue is so sharp, kind of hard to catch because nothing's really an insult. So it's like, was it? But I guess it is. So you really got to think about it. But but snitches get stitches. Really kind of unfair. But I mean, they're seeing someone who's having these terrible emotional breakdowns. Stuart. Really, she's just on the edge of losing everything. So got to report it to Central Command.
Yeah, and the one guy's like, "Trust me, we've all noticed."
And she's like, "Well, tough. Notice all you can." It's some really good lines, and the fact they're minimal and yet really full is great writing.
And they refer to the Klingons and the Chadich, and she's like, "We are not Klingon, nor are we Borg drones."
That's a good counter.
Blindly follow orders, yes. And then he uses
Smackdown.
Spock's quote from Star Trek 6. Logic is the beginning of wisdom, not the end. Yes.
No, it's such a smackdown. It's kind of like, duh. Again, great writing. But it obviously brings back into Chadich parallels with Borman and Mariner, so that you're meant to think that as well.
Yeah.
No,
and then the whole, I should report you to the High Council. Yeah. You are not yourself, Tulin. We've all noticed.
But did you notice the DS9 model? We did get a DS9 model.
I did notice that. That was the one that he was...
Glad.
Yeah, it was the one that he was gifted at the end of 2-3 episodes ago. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, they're chatting, and Ensign Mariner gets called again to report to his quarters. Yeah, this is the worst warp of my life. But longest warp of my life.
but she's legitimately doing it without any real blowback. This is such a season 2 Mariner move. She's so much more in line with everyone else. They really showed restraint. My God.
Yeah.
So they all feel in much closer line. Yeah, that's good.
And then the whole, I don't know, should I tell them the truth or should I just come clean? And Rutherford's like, I don't know. What's more important to you, being true to yourself or trying to impress the commander? Aloha! Which surprises me because Boimler's really grown a lot as a character. So this kind of set him back in my eyes a little bit, as made him feel more like season 1 Boimler. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. I just was kind of surprised that he decided to do this anyway. So,
I mean, I didn't think that specifically. He's only several months older. You know, he hasn't done enough to really change as a character. You know, he's still the exact same man, just with a little more experience. I think this is... It's not so much he's making a bad choice, it's so much he's being, you know, carried along. And if this is all in 12 hours, and he didn't find the guy for a couple, he's only got maybe 4 or 5 left. It's kind of like last chance to hang out with somebody. I mean, they're probably going to forget or whatever. So, yeah, that's fine with that.
Anyway, they're at their luau, so... Ooh. But then, we get a great shot of the Klingon ship. We hear opera. And we see a darkened room. Darkened captain's ready room. And then, of course, the dog comes back. Car comes back. And he passed the leg. It was an honorable movement.
Such a pandering line.
And then the captain just goes off about how they used to be, you know, feared in the quadrant and not anymore. We've lost our way. The whole Klingon blood runs as reddish pink as ever. From the other guy. So
the total seriousness of that line.
So Klingons joining Starfleet, studying at Bajoran academies. Is that referencing something specific?
I don't think so, because Bajorans had no academies. They were all kind of destroyed. So I think that's just to kind of show that they're coming back. Plus, it sounds a bit pathetic. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Let's be honest. But more Klingons in Starfleet, more than just Worf. So, yeah. But guys, we got our poll. We're on to get 130 votes. Who's your favourite new Holodeck officer? The Klingon, the Vulcan, the Packlet, or the Borg drone? Vote now. 5 more votes, and we'll call that quits. But there may be a clear winner. But we'll see. Your vote could turn the tide.
Yes, and Mellow Canuck says, well, we get some Martok. Well, they are taking this captain back to Klingon High Council, so maybe we'll see Martok in the next episode. I don't know.
It's so be satisfying to cut to Kronos, and he's yelling at the guy. And then he calls Freeman. I mean, come on. Do it. Do it.
But this is where he says, you may be smaller and weaker and slower and smaller than my other officers, but you have a warrior spirit. One day you can captain your own ship.
Glory to you and your tiny house.
That would be my greatest honor. Well, no, my greatest honor would be dying in battle, but...
That'd be my greatest honor. Now, this scene's like... It's so good. It's just... Everything is just on point dialogue-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, they are using different writers, obviously. But this writer gets it. Like, really gets it. Like just to a T. And then, Packlets appear.
Yeah.
Another level. 'Cause currently, we're all desperate different scenes. It's not linking. And then you're like, oh, no. Ooh. And instantly, I felt the stakes rise. You know, I really, really liked this little twist.
Well, we had 103 votes on our poll.
Oh, fantastic. Let me close that out then.
But yeah. Are you ready to give us presents? Oh. And they're going to beam over with his new second in command, so...
I love
it. And the second in command's like, we're commandeering their ship? What are we doing? And even cowards and fools have their uses. So right then I'm like, oh, damn, okay. Well, as soon as they said, are you giving us presents? That's when I was like, interesting.
Oh, yeah, you can tell straight away they're working together vaguely, but that could be one of many things. It could be just they're buying stuff from them. and so the reveal, which we'll get into in a second. But I love the fact that he trusts his captain enough to kind of go with him. We're going to take over the ship.
Mhm.
No, you idiot. What? Although he really is very small, actually, in this comparison, actually.
Mhm.
He's
Mhm.
actually a small officer. But the final results for the poll are, well, who's your favourite new Holodeck officer? Female Vulcan officer is the standout winner with 61%.
T'Lyn for the win.
Mariner 3.0. Number 2 was Borg Drone 953812941291049381729515417.
Of
15%.
150, 1157855. It's got to be of something.
Of 10.
Oh,
He's
what? That doesn't work.
No, he's a reserve drone.
Oh.
There's only like 10 positions on Borg Cube there. I can't believe you won a second. That joke. Thank you, guys. That was good. Third is this guy, Klingon officer, for 13, and Packard Hungry officer with 10%. So 13 of you voted for the Hungry Packard.
Damn.
How do you feel?
How do you feel? How do you feel? How do you
No,
feel?
Stuart. Come on, that was too emotional on our burst. Come on. Bring it back in.
No.
Okay. But yeah, we get a beautiful transporter room. Brilliant. I'm going to talk about another episode.
Mhm.
I just love the evolution of the conversation. And I love the fact we keep going with them. We build up the tension and the stakes, and obviously then cuts away. I like that it's not a galaxy class. It's some random non-ship.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing a Trekyards episode on it.
Star Trek Clue, though, I would buy it. The whole chef. It was the chef.
But you always pick the
I
chef.
think it was the chef in the biolab with the sniper rifle that can shoot through walls.
Yep.
We always pick the chef. So we have replicators. It's just shady. Oh my goodness. Well, they
Well,
seem
that
both
is,
very excited
fantastic.
that they picked up an anomaly, though, because even the captain was like, "Oh yes, please." But then she's like, "I really had fun." Yeah, so did I. So.
It is a sweet moment because part of their dynamic is they need to fight. Their energy. And I did get the vibe, though, genuine. As a genuine, yeah, I did too. If she's bitching the entire time. But I think it's one of those things where after it's done, you remember the good times without necessarily thinking of the annoying things. But yeah, just the scene's just really good. Everyone's on point here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, back to work. Because, we're science guys. Let's go look at the anomaly. And I love the fact they were set up. Right from the first Vulcan scene. That's the anomaly, that's why they're going. The bombers are like Klingons are going. It all makes sense. And then you get a fantastic eerie with the Klingon music. Packard thing come out. It's I wouldn't say scary, but it feels like a shark coming out of water. It's ominous. It's powerful,
Great detail too. Like it's a very interesting shot. But
welcome to Packard ship.
Packard.
The
I am
Packard.
Rebnar. Ah, Rebnar. Yes, we've met several times.
And this actor, he successfully conveys frustration on whole many levels. It's really fun to watch. Actually, it's really.
It's great. We need another boomer.
What?
No one. No, one Veruvian bomb is enough. We already used it. You used it on what? Why? They wanted to try it on a big asteroid, and then it stopped working. It was a bomb. You can only use it once. And then the next line really bothers me. This is Dorg. Transport another explosive to the Package vessel. Going to destroy the ship. I don't know. It just bugs me the way that line was delivered.
Well, there's definitely a few people that presumably know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah. Then red alarm. Red alarm. Hold on, just 1 second.
No, definitely fantastic. And the more we're going through this, the amount of fantastic scenes and dialogue. So many great. Yeah, so many great bits of dialogue. And obviously, the reveal that they're working with the Trekyards. He armed them. That's the big thing. The Trekyards haven't got this big bad. It's a Klingon guy, just some guy. It works though. I think it works. But obviously, our Klingon officer is confused. Should be giving bombs to Trekyards. And yes, Cerritos warps in. Great scale shot here. If it is a Burrell, it definitely tells you something. It is pretty meaty. The scale, I think, go a bit wonky throughout the scene, but oh dear. I appreciate.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
Yeah, I was just saying. I appreciate how they try and hail the Klingons, and they are friends, they are allies. But no, it turns from a bad to worse pretty quickly.
Mm.
And a bad to worse even quicker. Oh dear.
Yeah, both ships power up weapons and start aiming or targeting the Cerritos. But yeah, some big booms. I love the holodeck action though. Hawaiianers, we're under attack. Such an epic pose. Mm-hmm. And then you get everybody doing their whole time off thing. You got some, what's it called? I can't remember the martial art now. God damn it.
Ambujutsu?
Anyway. There it is. Thank you. Yes. Got maybe a Sherlock Holmes guy. He's got the smoking jacket and the pipe. And then you got the Troy and Crusher workout uniforms.
Which I'm totally fine with this being the context. It's nothing particularly impressive, but it's a good shot for a trailer.
Yeah.
Everyone's just hanging out. I recognise almost all the people as well. Although that's a Vulcan lady, so if she does come on the Cerritos, the new lady, then Vulcan friend.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, a lot of weapons. They're taking everything. Not to say Burrell's that powerful. Let's be honest. It's a scout ship. It's a low end ship.
Mm. But shields are holding at 80% by this point. So. Yes. And then there's damage to deck 6, which cuts off Ransom and friends, Hawaiians.
Of Strax's pottery outfit still, and the ladies in the snow outfit. That was all great.
We're at Ensign Barnes.
And I love the Klingons use torpedoes as well. I kind of missed those in previous episodes. I'm glad they have a bit of everything. I mean, it's just action packed. We finally get photon torpedoes, Stuart. I said it's where they should be launches for right at the start. They literally had nothing. They retcon back in at the start of the season, and now they have pew-pews. Good stuff.
But then we find out that no one's from Hawaii.
The big reveal the entire episode. I mean, who cares about Trekyards and the Klingons? This was the moment, Stuart, that I think defined this for us.
Yeah, this was the best part of the episode. I'm actually from the moon, says Ransom. He was trying to impress the commander when he was an ensign and said he was from Hawaii, so it's kind of stuck with him. But then the lady's like, wait, bro, Earth's moon? That's where I'm from. I'm from Luna Bay. Tycho City. And then, yeah, the Benzarian, whatever the hell they is from the third moon of Benzar. So they're all moon people.
But of course, California, the way he's from is...
Modesto is like the moon of San Francisco.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You realize how insulting that is? People that are born on moons.
Yeah, moon people. I did like they're all from moons. I kind of wish he would say he's from the moon as well, the real moon. But Stuart, give us some likes and super chat goals, because we kind of haven't got many for a while. Put some goals in, and I'll just put a new poll on. So read all the things.
137 likes. We want to get to at least 150, so 13 more people would be great. We have 161 here. So actually, screw it. We're going to go for 175.
Yes.
People, we should be able to hit 175. As for super chats, honestly, another $70 would be awesome.
70, yep. 100%.
So if you guys want to throw in some 5s, 10s, let us know what you thought about this episode, especially this upcoming battle part.
Yes.
Let us know, please. And don't forget, as always, the last super chat slot's always there. Still got about just under an hour now, so get ready with the sniping.
And of course, Stuart, if you want to read that poll.
Oh my goodness, making me work all the time. Are you from Hawaii? Yes or no? That should be 100% yes.
I'm surprised.
Anyone who's put no, you don't get it. Change your vote. I don't know if you can change your vote when you do these, but
I was betting 100% without any question. Just
it should have been like 150 people.
yeah.
100%. Yes.
People are too honest. We're all from Hawaii. We're not, but we are. I thought it was funny. But I like Boimler, you know. I go to die in Hawaiian shit. It's good. It's a good little thing. I just like the scene. It's a good scene. And it also adds a lot more humanity to Ransom. That he was also an ensign, you know, because he's done basically lived his lie, in essence, for sort of 30, 40 years. You know, he probably knows a lot about Hawaii at this point, but you know, it's a thing that you do. It's like one of the
poll
rituals.
should have been: are you from Hawaii or the moon? I want to see where people want to be from.
Yeah. But then we get the Klingons. They want the Packlards to deliver the final blow, which I like because Packard weapon signatures easy to well, then you can trace them. If Klingons are in the mix, it's not so good.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the whole, you know, this is without honor. Feels like there's no honor. Letting others fight our battles for us. There's a bit of a fight that ensues. I like how he says that we Klingons have tried to sabotage peace before and failed.
Yep.
I will not. They will sing songs of me this day.
It's all very logical Klingon dialogue. It's very relatable. I like it. And then, boy, some real punishment.
Boom, boom, boom.
I mean, this thing is kicking ass. And then... Oh, yes.
Red alarm. Red alarm. I'm hungry. You should eat. You are smart. Red alarm. Just... Oh my god. That's got to be like a ringtone now. Red alarm.
Is for sure.
Yeah.
It's a good amount of cringe, for sure. It was fun. I just like the fact that now we have an official name for the Packard warship.
The Clump ship. Yeah.
With the unknown ship being called the Packard Clump ship Packard.
Clump ship makes sense though, because there's a bunch of ships clumped together. So.
No, it's great. We're waiting for a name, but now I can't call it Packard warship. It's a Packard Clump ship. But anyway, evasive maneuvers, things are going pretty bad. We're all basically going to die, which I thought was interesting how we've already got back to we're going to die from Packard warship like we did last season. We've reached season 1's ending. It felt very similar in terms of damage and vibe. I was kind of surprised about.
Their shields are down to 17% at this point, so went from 80 to 17. So.
But then, a wonderfully heroic moment. Almost as good as the Titan, like just the music really swelled. Definitely controlled our emotions, but the scoring from this point till the end is top tier.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Yeah, really good moment.
The Ronin, though, $5.
Thank you.
Dude, my Mai Tai. Hawaiians, we are under attack. It's so epic.
I would say Hawaiians unite, but there's so few of us in the chat today, Hawaiians, that...
35%, that's pathetic. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Aloha, everyone. No, it's great seeing the size of that ship just coming in. I was like having a nerdgasm.
I'm going to say that. I think the scale does change out the scenes. I mean, look at that Burrell. It's not the set. These aren't done properly. But also note the non-Starfleet shield grid. It's not a bubble. It's a thing, and it's got a whole like shimmering color field effect. So another choice, and not a bad bridge, which we will discuss on a separate time. Very spacious. I like it. And I do remember them being a bit more in control the first time I watched this, but in second viewing, their shields do go on very quickly. So they are pretty badly affected. Packards are more powerful. I mean, they're just a science ship. They're just a ship that came in to help. They weren't meant for war. But yeah, they're bird of prey. Just some good fight. Some good pews.
Jonathan C. throws in $5.
Thank you.
I feel like this episode was the most satisfyingly Trek. The new perspectives were great. Honestly, the end credits made me laugh hard.
Yep.
Best episode so far. Yeah, I almost missed the end credits the first time because it got that warp out and then black. You're like, all right, get ready to pause or whatever.
No.
And it's like, no. Then you see a Borg cube. Yeah, it's awesome.
Same damn angle as the other two Borg cubes.
Yeah.
And also what I like about this is that this is where the animated wins over live action. it'd be real freaking expensive to make all these sets and always make it for one episode. Real freaking expensive. But no, animated, just, yeah, throw a new set in. It's all absolutely fine. But it's a good space battle, it's got some good action. You would think the bird of prey would be able to be damaged very quickly, given it's not very strong, really, but...
But Talin's been working on a regenerative shield amplifier.
Yes.
Thankfully.
Well, yeah.
It's not been damaged. If it damages the couplings, it'll leave us unprotected. But it is logical to use it now. Considering there are no alternatives.
He jumps to it pretty quickly, he accepts it. I really like how they put on the pad and it all synchronizes. It was...
I love that, yeah. It's just like tap the main computer to...
Tap to enhance shields.
Yeah.
Oh, but no, you'll not. No firing on, allies. These aren't,
Does the High Council know of your actions? The High Council lacks foresight.
Yes.
But once we win this battle, they will change their minds.
And Richie says, is the Vulcan ship the same one Mariner and Boimler drove through in the Duplo episode? No, that one is a shuttle transport. This is a capital ship science vessel. So very different.
Yeah, the other one's way smaller. So.
Yeah.
I am Misi throws in $10.
Okay.
I will be disappointed if Worf is not in the next episode. The Federation would absolutely call in the Klingon ambassador. Mariner knows him well. Knows him as well. Yes.
That is true. And then you can have Titan and Worf on the same scene. That'd be a good payoff. And they did that with Marina and Frakes. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about Worf, but I could. I mean, obviously, I doesn't take much to sell me or stuff like that, but I would be sold on that.
The Ronin, $5. The emotional outburst from Vulcan was very distracting. Way over the top. Dial it back, Vulcans. Well, one Vulcan, Talin. She's just crazy. I'm telling you.
I mean, you've never seen anyone like her,
Except for Mariner, which is just like her.
I disagree. I think they're two different levels. I mean, she goes too far. Mariner's always one step inside. This woman is just, wow.
It's up the rails.
Truly off the rails, yeah. Maybe.
Anyway, shields are increasing. Up to
Yeah.
120%. Bum, 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 bum.
I love the almost surprise on their tones of voice.
Yes, yeah.
And then they're fine. It's good.
But then they fire, and there's pretty punchy phasers that the Vulcans got there.
Yeah. And what a great, long shot as well. Everyone's pewing, everyone's firing. That was great. But no, our Klingon man's had enough. And we see everyone look and got a great Star Trek 5 targeting weapon platform, which is fantastic. And we get a pretty great fight, let's be honest. It's a well choreographed, the blood's effective.
But the Targ jumps in to save the day, only not for its master. And he backhands it and whimpers and whines. I assume he beat it before. That's why it attacked the other guy. I don't know, I feel so bad for the poor Targ. But anyway, the fight rages on, and I love the plunge with the sword. And it's so such a great death scene. But yeah, pink blood.
It felt very samurai. Very ceremonial.
I do have that. Yeah, so they have pink blood. Why, when their eyes are bloodshot, is it red?
Different. But yeah, he still does. Yeah. I thought it was a bit easy to kill him this way, but hey ho.
Now we know why they don't put carpet in Klingon ships, because you'd be cleaning up blood and food and tar crap all the time.
Yeah. But, what is not tar crap is the new Klingon sword knife. That was a great simple, version. That was nice addition.
But they asked the new captain what he wants to do, and set a course for the home world. The council can decide what to do with this Benosh, whatever.
And
they just bugger off.
And this actually reminds me explicitly of when Boimler then took control of his captain's chair and gave a speech. The instant vibe change, even the shot composition, kind of reminds me of that. And it tells us, if this guy, all this took for this guy to raise rank captain and mean it was to kill the captain. I feel like all Boimler has to do to really gain his captaining stripes is just to stab Freeman. I think that's the only way, Stuart, I think. Maybe.
Well, one thing I do know. 164 people here, 170 likes. We need 5 more likes to get that goal of 175 that I had set. And we do have some super chats that I'm going to read right now. So,
yes.
Kestrel 1980 puts in $10.
Wow, thank you.
I like when the bridge crew showed up in their customs, much like Data in Generations, handing his sword to a random crew member on the bridge. Andrew S puts in $5 with no comment, but thank you so much for the super chat. Very much appreciated. And Threefold Path puts in £5.
Thank you.
The end of the fight reminded me of the end of the fight between Worf and Khan. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Only nobody fell through like a big map.
Yeah.
Glass.
And final note, with 101 votes, are you from Hawaii? I know you and I are from Hawaii, but only 34% of our brethren here are from Hawaii, and 66 and up from Hawaii.
I'm broadcasting from Hawaii right now.
I mean,
you can see the sun.
Pretty obvious. Yeah. Stuart, aloha.
Yes. Aloha, indeed.
But I liked the very canonical Klingon warp out. Very nice.
Yeah. This is where I want to bring up the point, though. Like, wasn't it weird that he just warped out and didn't help the Federation? I wish he would have taken a pock shot or two at the Packlids as they turned around or something, because they're responsible for everything that's happening right now. Well, his former captain is. But with no explanation to the Vulcan or the Federation ship, they just warp out.
Still war.
Makes them look like cowards. Yeah, makes them look like cowards and doesn't rectify the situation. So, I don't know. I just thought it was weird that he decided to warp out right away.
I mean, yes, it is a bit weird, but I think a non-experienced space captain who doesn't know how to run the ship or give orders, the safest option is not to die.
Yeah, keep your captaincy, but you'll look like a coward in front of the rest of your crew that you just like killed the captain in front of.
Yeah, but also you're not fighting in this battle. Like, it's not your battle, so you're not running from a battle. You're running from a situation that you've caused. Like, I absolutely agree. It is weird, and I said to you previously, I wish he had fired a few pot shots at the back of the ship, damaged it, and then walked off to disable it or whatever, or like hailed them and said, "It's all yours, Captain. I've killed the traitor." Because the Federation's going to think, well, the Klingons are behind this. A bird of prey is a bird of prey, etc.
Eugene puts in 250 rubles.
Thank you.
And says, Packlids still got the bomb. I mean,
They did.
Yes.
True. But we're still waiting for that bomb that goes to Earth. Whole different bomb.
Chris H throws in $13.99 Canadian with no comment, but thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, we're only $35 away from a really good number, and that I'm sure being the closing. So doing really well. Thanks, guys, and great number of viewers. I'm really glad you guys tuned in for this one, because this was a really good one, and obviously people come in for a really good one. So hopefully next week for the season finale, we'll do the big breakdown. Those tend to be really, really good. And then what will probably happen is the weekend after, if you're free, Stuart, which will be then the 23rd, that weekend. Next free thing, Trekyards. There's Trekyards up and coming, guys. We'll rewatch the entire season 1, go through the entire season 1 with the alcohols, re-rate everything from having rewatched it without seeing the scores. Then I will then order them so I can tell us our favourites originally, and then our new scores, see how they compare, and we can take conclusively what is the best Below Deck season 2 episode, first run and second, And obviously, when we've drunk lots because of you guys' wonderful super chats by the end, us reading the scores are like, right, it's really fun. I'm surprised.
That's the weekend of Fan Expo in Toronto, though, so I'm not sure what's going on yet. But yes, I would like to do it that weekend. I Am Misi, though, throws in $10.
Thank you.
Loved this episode. Only one gripe. Yet again, the bad guy ends up being Klingon and a bird of prey. At least use a different ship or something after 3, 5, 6, and generations.
I mean, but there's literally 5,000 birds of prey in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's homely. It's classic. I did see a fun comment by Might of Man on Twitter. Someone said to him, the only thing that makes this episode better is if you'd redesigned and as in re-rendered the same explosion from Star Trek 6 and 7.
Yes.
And that they should do that. That's absolutely something they should do. From an insulting move in one movie to a clever joke in another one.
Only mirror it. Just flip it. You'd still recognize it as the same thing because of the way it explodes. It's quite unique, but...
Or just nick the clip from the show. Like, it suddenly cuts to live action. Like, even more instant. That's how you do it.
Yeah, like, you see the ship getting attacked, and then you see, like, clip, and then beep, beep, and then you see the clip, and then...
Comes back, yeah. And it's like,
and then animated debris. Oh my god.
You literally use the same clip. Literally the same clip. No, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, these scale shots are totally out of whack. Those do not make sense. I mean, look at these scale sizes. Nonsense. But
it's so pretty. The Packlet ship turns around, the Cerritos.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get the long shot. You see the Cerritos firing phasers, and it's awesome. And then the warp out. And this is where the music was, like, swelling. Like, this was, like, epic battle music. So good.
Well, it was Star Trek 6 music down pat. It was, like, one of the last... Or Star Trek... Star Trek 2, when it's one of the James Horner scores. It's very, very close, but it's so good, and the ships look so good, and they have such good shapes, and then you get a great side shot, which gives you a proper scale, which is great. See, it's much smaller than you think it is in comparison, but it's perspective.
Yeah. Peter Lakako throws in $5.
Thank you.
Weren't we promised dolphins this season? We still have one more episode, so...
Well, we promised ourselves dolphins. They said nothing.
Yeah.
Now, did you think they were going to destroy the Packlet ship or it get away? Because I kind of thought it was going to be blown up successfully.
I thought they were going to capture it.
Oh, okay.
I thought they were going to disable it or something, yeah. But anyway, it does warp away, and then you get a beautiful shot of the Vulcan ring ship with the Cerritos in front, and it's just such an epic shot.
I mean, they know. They know.
James McGill.
James.
Throws in, who's been a member for 12 months at the rank of commander. Says best episode of Lower Decks. Love seeing other Lower Decks on more ships.
Yep. Brave idea, but really paid off.
Okay, hold on just 1 second. I'll be right back again. Sorry.
No problem. Just working out my score sheet. I'm really excited to see what you guys think. I don't even know what I'm going to say for the score. But no, some really, really nice space shots. Obviously, we like our space shots. Scale makes no sense, but it looks real pretty. And there may or may not be an episode coming on the ship with new renders on Saturday, so tune in for that. But then you get everyone really excited, Strax being really fun, Cat not doing anything. And you want to celebrate with your Vulcan comrades. Are you okay? And then no, he interrupts them and says, are you damaged? No. Great, well, that's all we have to say to each other. Bye-bye. It's like, oh. Vulcans, eh? Because they ain't Starfleet. I think we as the audience are slightly more used to the additional... let's say humanity. The additional combined working together vibe of the Starfleet Vulcans. But these are just raw Vulcans,
Mark Davies, welcome to the rank of commander. We got a new commander on board.
But
welcome.
The joint saluting, because, thank you. Those do help. As you guys know, they do help a lot.
A lot, yeah. Everybody's cheering, hail the Vulcans. And it's like, do you require assistance? No, we're okay. We're just excellent. Then the threat is neutralized. No further communication is necessary. Boop. Thanks. That really reminded me of the Vulcans from Enterprise for sure. Because we saw them a lot in Enterprise. That's probably why it reminds me of that. So,
thing is, it makes sense though.
Yeah.
Because they don't need to talk unless they need to talk. And yeah, you know.
Gestrel 1980, $5. Love you guys. Always a fan. Hashtag code of honor. I don't have a drink, so I can't drink. But thank you. And Eugene,
dear.
1,000 rubles.
Ooh.
I think I'm out of focus here. Maybe, I don't know. 1,000 rubles. 9.9. Best episode so far. Vulcan, NB Vulcan ship have something similar to nacelles, which are attached to the warp ring.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, it was nice to see.
Anyway,
for sure.
Freeman's like, now I guess we know how the Packers got those weapons. Strange how the Klingons broke off and retreated, though. Klingons typically want to die in battle. Honestly, I get it.
Yeah. Very apt.
And then she says it's almost like they decided it wasn't their fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Surprised they didn't talk about it more, because they were under attack for a good couple of minutes. Just gonna move on.
Yeah. But she needs to brief Starfleet Command. They're going to have a lot to discuss with the Klingon High Council.
Yeah, they seriously will.
Mm-hmm. And we get the dressing down by the Vulcan captain, following her instincts. You know, she was lucky that her program for the shielding worked, but her inability to control her emotions is a liability. So he's removing her from duty.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. She's really hard to deal with. And again, these dialogues are so crisp. They're so sharp. They're so, you know, it's hard to. I mean, they're so dense. It's hard to kind of. I mean, you've obviously got the dialogue. It's hard to sort of relay them. But
I could read it all, but
no, it's but as soon as you think, no, she's off the ship. Well, she's you know, actually fired. Nope. She got better suited.
Recommend you for reassignment to a Starfleet vessel. Your hot-headed ways may make you better suited to serve with humans. Yeah. And then she's like, please reconsider, Captain. That punishment is not warranted. And that is exactly the type of outburst which has led to my decision.
And
it is
like,
final.
What are you all about?
Then you got the whole live long and prosper, sir. At least she didn't do the...
Well, I mean, clearly it was close.
It was backwards to him, so that might be an insult. Because she didn't turn around to do it. She just did it backwards to him. So.
Also, her tone was so...
Yes.
It's nice. Because at that point, you're leaving anyway. What can you say? He's been a bit of an unnecessarily cold Vulcan. No, I thought it was very apt. And that hint of emotion, the guy is just, the eyebrow. What can you do? Mm-hmm. Another beautiful close-up. Really showing us some details. And the
stupid look at them. All of them from the moon. Probably talking about tides and werewolves.
Makes sense to me.
But then they say, don't worry, man. You don't need a bridge buddy. We have us. Next time there's a long haul warp, we'll all hang out together. Then you get the young little lad who's like, Ransom told me to talk to you. She's the most organized on the ship. And I love Ransom's little look. Like, yeah. So, I like this scene. Looks like a young Tom Paris for some reason. I don't know why. His hair is color.
And it's hard to sort of make younger looking people born young already, but adding freckles and a little bit of a squeak. I'd love to know the thought behind this. My guess is they're sort of acting ensigns, like on a training thing, but it's only... Well, in theory they have a nursery because they lost a nursery in a previous...
Yes,
so in theory they have families, but we've never had that inclination. So I don't know how to feel about this. I'm intrigued, but we'll wait and see, I guess.
Yeah.
It was a nice ending. It was nice.
Yeah. The bridge crews may be the ones you hear about, but trust me, the real action begins in the lower decks. And Borg Cube. Borg Cube 90182.
And there's definitely a moment of, it's done. No, they're not. Because you know the joke instantly. And, guys, put your hands up right now who stayed through the entire credits.
I've been affected by Marvel movies too much. I stay through credits of a lot of movies now just to see if there's anything after.
Yeah.
The Ronin, $2. Are these new cadet uniforms, the black ones? I believe they are, personally. So I think so. Samuel, I don't know if you believe so.
Sorry, I was reading a thing. Oh, what?
Are these new cadet uniforms, the black ones?
Well, I don't think they're cadet ones, but we'll see. I think they're acting.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
James McGill, $5.
Mm.
Interesting Vulcan ship wasn't as powerful for its size until Shield's modification was installed. A science ship, perhaps. Yes, it was. Borg lower decks was perfectly done. Yes, it was. Funny, because when we got to the Borg lower decks part, Sylvie's like, Borg lower? There are no Borg lower decks. They're just going to be regenerating.
Yep.
And sure enough, yep.
Well, logically, every single Borg drones are lower decks. So, yeah. And I guess Unimatrix, the primary Unimatrix. Yep. Oh, hey, you guys raise your hands. Fantastic. I forgot that was an emoji. I like it. Oh my god, guys. Right, here we go. As you guys know, this is now the point where you guys vote your scores. I want to know in Super Chat if you want Stuart to read them. Non-Super Chat, I'll read them. I really want to hear what all 150 of you have to say here as we start to give our scores. And definitely another $45 would be really helpful. Obviously, we had to take a little bit of time off last week. So that would be really helpful as we go into next week. Yeah, Stuart, I mean, closing thoughts. And obviously, we tend to add thoughts in our review. You know, did you learn some more stuff? Was this a good go-through?
I don't know if I learned more, but by the way, guys, I want 10 more likes to get to 200, so do that. Yeah, like I said, the best episode this season by far, probably one of the best of Lower Decks in total. Everybody got something to do, even Tendi and Rutherford, even though it was a lot suppressed. I wish Rutherford and Tendi got a little bit more, but we're introducing new characters, so I understand, and that's fine. T'Lyn is awesome. I can't wait to see her in the future, whether it be on the Cerritos or whatever, but they are setting something like that up. Klingon guy, I think is going to be also important in the future. And we'll see what happens with the Packlids now. If they're not being supplied with weapons, I'm sure they're going to, not be a threat anymore, or as much anyway. So lots happened in this episode. Like I said, this definitely could have been a TNG episode, because the humor was very subdued, and I appreciated that. I really liked it, but I also loved last week's, which was very referential with all the references to other episodes of Star Trek. So I like them both about the same, but for different reasons.
Oh, they're very different.
Yeah,
you can't compare them directly. Yeah,
one was more satirical or like referential, and this one was more an actual Star Trek episode. So I really enjoyed it. Could have done without the Hawaiian thing, honestly, but I think they could have done a little bit better story for Boimler, but other than that, wasn't that big of a deal. Did learn where people are from, so that's important. We're all getting the back histories of people. So other than that, I think, some takeaways from this would be Red Alarm. I think that's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, the whole don't mention Bajor to Shax. I mean, that's so actually we learned something about all the characters pretty much.
And let's just say it, we learned Mariner gets bad cramps.
Yes, and her mom has hot flashes.
That is things we learned.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
I did put a new poll on, guys, because of the clear liking of this. I said, is this now your favourite episode of season 2 or of the whole show, perhaps? So yes, my favourite from season 2. Nope, not my favourite. Or favourite from both seasons put together. Clearly people have enjoyed it, so have your vote there. Let us know. Vote while you can, guys.
Please do. Yeah, so for scoring, for this season,
and remember,
it's definitely gonna...
well, guys, he doesn't remember. He doesn't have his scores in front of him, so he has no idea what he gave previous things. He might sort of remember, and he's quite good at remembering, actually, but this is completely gut reaction, and we'll come back drunk live and say where it actually sits. So, go for it.
So for this season, it's going to be a 9.7 for me. This one was way up there. For all of the Lower Decks, though, I'm thinking it's probably a 9.4. Because I'm not quite sure what I scored a lot of the ones in season 1. And I think there was some I really enjoyed there. But this one felt different. This one felt like an episode of Trek, As much as We love lower decks. It just had a different vibe to it, but I really loved it. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, those are my scores.
Yeah, and guys, again, super chat scores if you want Stuart's read, and not for mine. My closing thoughts. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very enjoyable. It was the most well-rounded Lower Decks episode, the most creative, the most grounded, and yet still had those great genuinely laugh out loud moments. You know, your emotional outburst was on extreme, and it's like, no, she didn't even what? Like, it's just really funny stuff actually. Knowing the universe created humor rather than actually having jokes, having fart jokes, or having to have, Tendi in an alien and then be pulled out, be that gross. Like, that's not, it's physical humor. Let's have intelligent humor. Great introduction of the Klingon guy, the new Vulcan character, definitely going to be, I think, on the Titan, but that's my guess. It's just the fact that it came to the main story was very important, very well done. Pacing was really great. Feels like a longer episode. There was 26 minutes. I think they're normally 24. So I think it was very slightly longer. Yeah. Okay. Although really could have done being 30, given more minutes. And as a person who likes the idea of the warp journey being a problem, and what do, I had a lot of fun just sort of that with that as a concept. So yeah, definitely really, really solid. I do agree it was better than last week. Because last week's was more fun, obviously, but more shallow. Spectacle over substance, and obviously neither of us particularly enjoyed the TOS scene, and that's a whole segment, right? I don't think there's any bad scenes here. Even the Hawaiian stuff was still good, just not amazing. So having no bad scenes is really impressive, considering how many scenes there were. So I think I'm gonna say 9.65. So I want some wiggle room later. Because next week could be like top tier. And I want there to be a little bit of distance between this and a possible top tier. So 9.65 for this season. And all low decks, I'll go 9.5. I think this is definitely like, if not the best, one of the best of the whole franchise. Because it benefits from all the payoffs and character growth from last season, and all the universe building from this season. So very, very well done. Guys, put your final votes in, Stuart. If you want to read your super chat scores, let's see where we are with the audience.
And we got 3 super chat scores here, so I'm going to read those right now. Guys, if you want to put any more in, by all means, please do so. We have 200 likes now.
$13 more, and we round up to a beautiful number. 13 only.
200 likes, and no more likes are required. But if you do want to hit like and you haven't, please go ahead. But yeah, 13 more dollars would be awesome. And last super chat slot right now is Threefold Path, so keep that in mind if you want that slot. Anyway, I Am Misi throws in $5. 10 out of 10. Also, are the Borg back for sure in canon now?
See, I thought that too.
We don't know where this Borg cube is. It didn't say where, so just saying. Mark Lawrence, $2, 9.975 out of 10. Hard to beat. Best of current Trek. There you go.
That's an interesting concept, yeah. Ooh. And guys, can we get a thumbs up for actual Klingons being actual Klingon-y on an actual Klingon ship with actual Klingon makeup, acting like Klingons, actual Klingon costume? First time in what? 15 years? Unarguably since DS9, because those Enterprise Klingons were a bit weird with the different costumes and no Bird of Prey like identical. So, a lot of years. You finally got Klingons against you.
Put $1 in, everybody that loves seeing the new Klingons. There you go.
Ooh, well, that's a like snipe battle of Klingon proportion.
Yeah, you're showing your love for the real Klingons, and you're trying to get that last super chat slot. So
you're saying glory to you and your super chat. That's what you're saying.
It's the only honorable way to go. Yeah.
Yes.
It's also logical.
Oh God.
Sergeant Roadkill, £5.
Thank you.
Oh wait. No, sorry, Threefold Path. Sorry, £5. 9 out of 10. Really saved the season for me, as I had not been enjoying it as much as the first season. Yeah, until last week, there was some kind of episodes. So
yeah, it's remarkable how the curve of quality just took an absolute whoop.
Yeah.
Hard, sharp. Yeah.
Sergeant Roadkill, £5. Sorry. Fine, have some cash. I enjoyed you chatting as much as the episode. Oh, thank you, Sergeant Roadkill. Very much appreciated.
Very kind. Thank you.
And James McGill, $2. Who's Trekyards Lower Decks? Who's Trekyards Lower Deck? That would be Precious and Dot. Yeah.
My mug. It's always there doing the hard job. Never complains. It's a
I am
turtle.
Misi. Yeah. I am Misi throws in $1.
Glory
He loves
to
Klingons.
you. And your
No
super
one
dad.
else loves Klingons, apparently. Or real Klingons.
God,
You all like the disco Klingons. I see how it is. It's fine.
So, the audience, let's see what the non-super chat scores say. We have a 9.7, a 9, a 9, 9.975. Everyone loves that joke. 9.9, says Ozzy. And he's also from Hawaii, just so we know.
Everyone should be.
Everyone should. 9 out of 10. 10. 9, 9, 9.5, 9, 9.95, 10, 10, 9, 9, 9, 10, 10, 9, 10, 9, 9.7, 10, 9, 9, 8. Oh, our first 8, Stuart. By SVS Guru 2000. He's not from Hawaii. You can tell.
Or a moon.
Or a moon.
Damn.
He's from a comet, isn't he? But comet people.
Wow, that sounds really racist.
Well, it's not a thing. It says 10, 9.9. I know Ozzy always said you're from Hawaii. 9.975. Yep, that joke as well. Everyone loves a joke. 10, 69. Lies. So Stuart,
Yeah.
whew, very, very. Is that the most consistent one we've had for a long time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
And this has been really great with viewers and super chats. Like, you guys really came through for this one. So if you're here right now, make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell icon, and join us next week, same time, same day, for the season finale of Lower Decks Season 2. Because it should be good, and we will be talking about it.
And I have just seen some people mention there is a new ship in the trailer for that, but I'm going to up to you if you want to watch it or not. And that'll be definitely something to look at next week, so expect that. We'll see how much time they get. Interesting. And do expect it to be a slightly longer one. Those last seasons tend to go about 3 hours, so we may go half an hour earlier, we may just go an hour later. You guys tend to really just glob on those, which we love, because it's a nice celebration at the end. And like I said, Trekyards will be very soon after, and that will be full drunk. I've done one of those in quite a while. And I'll be talking about the entire season back to back. It'll be a lot of fun because I remember watching Picard was a struggle and Discovery was annoying, but Lower Decks was a pleasure to rewatch for our retrospective. Although I will say the quality of the season has been less consistent, or at least less inspired. But maybe backwards it'll all come together more.
Well, guys, looks like I Am Misi has that last super chat slot. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
And the final vote scores: 76 people voted, 58% of you said it was your favourite from this season, season 2. 9% said nope, wasn't their favourite, and 32% said yes of all Lower Decks. So that's a pretty high bar there, Stuart. Pretty high bar.
For sure.
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, we will catch you on the flip side. Tomorrow we have a new episode coming out about a ship. You might guess what it is. I don't know. A new ship. So check it out.
And then Sunday about an old ship.
And then next week there's going to be videos all the time. So, and we're doing more lives, of course. So join us for those as well. Make sure you're subscribed. You know the routine.
Yeah. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a good weekend. We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Until then, he's
Captain Foley. Oh. And he's
hungry.
Commander Cockins. You should eat.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah. Bye, guys.
Smart.